Hi, I'm Gary White with Louisville Metro TV, and we are at the aquatic pool, we're at the Algonquin Pool here, and this is Louisville Now. I am here with Keith Smith and with Katie Cook, both with Louisville Parks and Recreation, and we're going to talk all about this great pool that you're seeing behind us. It's just opening, so you're going to start seeing people flooding in because it's 12 o'clock for us here now. Thank you for being here with us on Louisville Now.
Of course.
And Keith, you are the aquatics manager. So let's jump right in. Tell us about this new pool that is here for Algonquin Pool.
Well, you know, it's been a long time in the making, and we're glad that it's opening. We started construction last fall, and we had a hard winter. Normally, our winter's not that hard, so we thought we'd just go right through it. They had a lot of setback, so we were lucky with getting it open on time this year.
And it did open. It had a great reception. I know the mayor had a press conference here.
Yeah.
Actually got into the water. So tell us, what are some of the new features that are here for the pool?
Well, all the new features here, you know, we have the 22-foot high double slide. You got to be 48 inches tall to ride that. Then we have a family slide that two can go down at a time. Zero entry to 3'6". We do have an area that is 5 foot where the climbing wall is. And then we have a vortex that is 3'6", and the vortex is what we get when we don't have the money for a lazy river.
Okay. Have you been in the vortex yet?
I haven't been in the vortex yet, but oh my goodness, I was so excited to even see the renderings for this because this is unlike any pool that we've ever had with Louisville Parks and Recreation. And as a matter of fact, I think we're going to start calling it Algonquin Water Park because it does have all of these awesome amenities.
Along with Camp Taylor will be Camp Taylor Water Park.
Yes, and we're going to be talking more about the other pool projects that are in the works that will be coming out later this fall and next year as well in just a few minutes. But with this pool, you talked about accessibility, and that's an important factor because with that ramp, anybody can have access to the pools, and that's something we want to make sure that people know, right?
It is very accessible, handicap accessible. We have a handicap chair. It's kind of slow getting in, but it is there. We have stairs, we have a ramp. You can even the water wheelchairs can row up to any of the play features in the water there and use them.
Have you seen those amenities being used yet?
We've had one here in a wheelchair that had used it, and plenty of people
awesome.
used the chair, but then they started walking down the ramp because they wanted to get class a little faster.
That's great. That's great. And as you can see behind us, we have a bunch of kids, but they were for camps, right? Because it just opened at noon. Tell us the hours for the
our hours is 12 to 5, Sunday through Saturday, closed on Tuesday. We did not want to interrupt the flow of the pool by having groups during that time, so we do groups from 10 a.m. to 12 on Thursday, Fridays. And Saturday mornings, we got an adult learn to swim program out here. Monday and Wednesdays, we do a senior aqua that is free. We have a 10 o'clock class and an 11 o'clock class.
That's great. I know on your Park It Here show that you've done several segments on the different pools and parks around. Are these classes, do you know how they can sign up for these classes as well? For the ones here and at different pools?
Yes, so you can find information on our website, bestparksever.com, under the aquatics tab. I know that our councilwoman, Tammy Hawkins, she has a lot of valuable information because I think she's helped coordinate some of those programs as well. So you could reach out to us for information or her office, and I'm sure someone would be glad to provide that information.
That's great. Now this pool is going to be open for about another month, right?
Yes, we close August the 2nd. And I think you're going to be talking to Tammy Hawkins, so I don't want to give information out about that day because that is her program. That'd be on her to give that out. I don't want to.
It's going to be something special.
But it's going to be something special on that last day of the pool. And we closed that early because all the kids go back to college. Most of our kids are college students. We do have some high school students, and they go back to school the following week. If they live in Indiana and work for us, they're going back to school into July, first Monday in August, which is August the 4th. So that's why we do close early.
Well, thank you for all this great
No
information.
problem.
And before we close this segment, I want to mention you've been with the Metro government for a long time. Actually, before it was Metro government. Is that
Yeah, I
right?
was. I started out in '93 as a seasonal. '94, came on board until '99 when merger happened. I lived in Indiana. And then I came back. I've been back 18 years from that time.
Well, thank you very much for being here with us. Again, we're out the Algonquin Pool, and we'll be right back here on Louisville Now.
People call us when they don't know what to do. That's what we say.
If you want to do this job, you can absolutely do this job. You will not regret it.
You only have to be 18. You have to have a high school diploma or GED, and the rest of it's up to you.
Is it going to be hard? Yes. Are we going to challenge you? Absolutely. But can you do it? Yes, you can.
Look what's possible. This was a once vacant and abandoned property that had $28,000 worth of liens against it. The $28,000 worth of liens stopped the development of this property. And so under this lien forgiveness pilot program, we are able to forgive the liens on this property to then put this property back into development. It increases the housing stock and it gets a family into this house. And that's what's needed. It changes the neighborhood, it changes communities. Because of this program, the redevelopment of this property, the rehab of this property, which looks new, by the way, is possible. The information for this program can be found at www.louisvilleky.gov under the Community Development page for Housing and Community Development. Please click on that link. It will tell you all about the program and all of its requirements. This type of rehab is possible. Waiving the liens are possible. Please check us out.
And welcome back to Louisville Now. I'm Gary White with Louisville Metro TV. I'm here with Katie Cook, who is with Louisville Parks and Recreation, and we're at the Algonquin Water Park, right?
Yeah.
I was calling it a pool, but it's so much more than a pool.
It is,
It is a
yeah.
water park. It's an experience, really. And we are joined by Ben Johnson, the Assistant Director for Louisville Parks and Recreation.
How you doing?
How are you?
Doing great.
So have you been in the water park yet?
I technically have not been in when it was fully functional. I came out when we were working on it and kind of dipped my toe in the water. But I'm
Okay.
letting the community have all the fun.
So when are you going to go down the slide?
I promise to go down before the season ends.
There you go. Okay. We want to get video of that. We'll put
Yeah.
that on our social media.
Wow. Now I have to. Katie will make sure I do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I work with Ben in the same office. I'll make sure he gets out here.
That's great. One thing we want to talk about on today is about the clear bag policy that is going on for the Louisville, the pools here
Right.
in Louisville. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're doing with the clear bags is it's just a safety measure. And if you think about it, it's something that's been in the public literally since 2000. You know, and 9/11 brought some of that on. But the clear bag policy helps make sure that we keep everybody safe. You also want to make sure people don't bring in things that they shouldn't, and not necessarily that are dangerous like weapons, but other things you can't bring, like food in a certain area, you can't bring glass containers, things like that. So we just want to keep everybody safe, and also it helps expedite entry because sometimes it can get quite busy.
Yes. And so people can just bring their own bags. They don't have to buy certain bags from the parks, right?
Well, we
That's fine.
don't sell them, but what we
Okay.
did do, we wanted to sort of grandfather the policy in. So if you've been a regular and came earlier in the season, we actually gave some out because again, we wanted to support the public. But again, clear bags are available pretty much anywhere at this point.
Okay, and that's for all the pools.
It's for the pools and the water park.
parks.
Exactly.
Exactly. The pools and the water parks, right?
Right.
Okay, so we want to talk about some of the new pool and water park projects that are in the offing, right?
Right.
'Cause we have some more that are going to be coming. This one opened this year, but
Correct.
what's coming up?
Unfortunately, Mary T has been closed. Not really unfortunate because we're making some great progress there for renovations to the tile. I know Ben, you
That's
can.
the major. Yeah, so the major thing with Mary T is tile project. We're changing out the tile. It had been there for a while, so it's going to be an upgrade. And you know, I'm a cook. They say you can't bake a cake without breaking some eggs, so we had to shut it down so we can make some improvements. We're doing some other minor modifications and some painting and things like that. Now, as far as our other water park that's going to be in Camp Taylor, extremely similar, a little bit smaller, but that was supposed to open this year. We got called up, the contractor, you know, we had some crazy weather this year. We had the freeze and we had the rain, so they got behind. but it should be completed this year, not in time to open, but in time to be tested. So next year we won't miss a beat. It'll open right on time. And also, you know, looking for the silver lining, we learned some things operating Algonquin that next year we won't have those growing pains at Camp Taylor.
That's great. Okay, so that's the Mary T. Maher, right? And then with the Camp Taylor, when is that going to be?
That'll be open next year for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. And what can people expect from that project?
They can expect a similar experience to this. And that's why we're particular about calling Algonquin and Camp Taylor water parks, because that's what they are. I mean, they have so many fun features that you will see at other venues that are a lot more expensive than ours. And we're really excited that Louisville Parks and Recreation has the 2 newest public water parks in the state.
So a lot of exciting stuff going on with Louisville Parks and Recreation at the pools and the water parks. And you can come on out to Algonquin, of course, until the beginning of August.
Correct.
But then we're going to have the other 2 projects coming up later this year and then next year. So stay with us here on Louisville Now. We have some more coming up about summer safety and fireworks safety. Stay with us. Welcome back to Louisville Now. Again, we're at the Algonquin Water Park, and you can see activity behind us. It's a great day for this, so you can come on out and enjoy it. And I'm now joined by Sierra Warren, who is the public facilities with the public facilities team at Louisville Public Health and Wellness.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us. And we want to talk a little bit about how all the different departments here in Louisville Metro government always work together, but you collaborate, the public health department collaborates with a whole lot of departments in various different ways. And one way is with the water safety here for the pools and with the aquatic parks, right?
Yes.
So tell us, what are the pool inspections that you're doing?
So we inspect every public pool twice a year. And then we also collect water samples from every pool every week. So we test, so the water sample we test for bacteria in the pool. That's our first indicator if something was wrong. And then our inspectors would address it. So during our inspection, we check the water quality, so your chlorine, your pH, any other chemicals in the pool, and then we do a general safety check, look for the lifeguards, make sure they're paying attention to all the kiddos swimming, and check everything in the equipment room, so the filter and the pump.
Okay, and how often do you do this?
Twice a year.
Twice a year, so
Yep.
you go to each of the
Yeah.
aquatic areas twice a year.
And then so like something like Algonquin will be here twice in the summer, so you don't have as many months to inspect, but we still come twice.
Okay, and I think you have a sample here for us
Yes.
that you're going to show us,
Yes.
right? So do you want to
Yes.
pull that up?
So this is from the pool. So I already put in Our powder we're going to test for chlorine, so it's good that it turns pink. That means that there is chlorine in the pool. So now we're going to see how much. And there's some math involved. So for the range, they have to have at least 2 parts per million.
All right, hold that.
I got to spin it, so the spinning's good.
Okay.
So we got to mix in the chemicals. And so we're waiting for it to turn clear, and that's gonna, how many drops, it's gonna tell us how much chlorine is in the pool.
Okay. So we can see it changing from pink.
Yep. So once it's clear, we've reached, all right. So they are in range, that's good.
Okay.
Yep.
And you could tell they were in range because of the number of drops?
Yes.
Okay.
So each drop is 0.2, so we multiply that by how many drops, and it gives us a number of how many parts per million of chlorine is in the pool.
Okay. So if there are any kids out there interested in chemistry, this is a job for them possibly as well, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Because it all takes place.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, if it hadn't been, what is the process for clarifying the water at that point?
So if we have a problem, we first try to reach out to whoever's on site, see if they can fix it, see if there's something in the equipment room that's not working, and then go from there. If there's nobody that can fix it, we'd have to close the pool until it can be fixed.
Okay. So how confident should the citizens of Louisville be that the water is clear and something they should be entering?
I think the pools are pretty safe. We have a great team of inspectors. We have 10 inspectors that cover all of Jefferson County. And then if the public has any questions, we do have an open data portal so they can go and look at the scores and the inspection reports for the pools that they swim at and see if they have any concerns.
Okay. And they can find that on your website?
Yes, it is on our website.
Okay. And again, this is Sierra Warren with the Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness. And they're analyzing the water, making sure it's safe for us all to be taking part. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more here on Louisville Now. Welcome back to Louisville Now. I'm Gary White with Louisville Metro TV, and we are at the Algonquin Water Park. I'm calling it pool, but it's actually a water park. Have you been into this pool yet?
I haven't.
Okay. I'm here with Major Chris Locketts, who is with the Louisville Metro EMS, and we're going to talk about summer safety.
Sure.
As we're standing here, it's a beautiful day, but it is hot, and it's also very bright, right? So there are lots of things to be aware of and to look out for. So let's get started. What are some of the ailments that people can potentially get if they're out in the sun too long?
Sure. You know, there's lots of things to take into consideration when you're out enjoying the sun and you know, the water parks that we have in Louisville. And, you know, one of those things is, you know, the sun, right? And so, you know, making sure that you have plenty of sunscreen on and that you're taking those precautions so that you don't get sunburns, you know, is a very important step when you're going outside. You know, another important thing to think about and consider is also staying hydrated. You know, when you're outside, you know, engaged in physical activities, you're going to become dehydrated. The heat naturally, as you're sweating, your body's trying to cool itself down. You're going to lose your water, and so it's important to make sure you stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, try to avoid things like that are caffeine. So energy drinks aren't really the best. You know, and alcohol is also certainly not a great idea when it's really hot outside either.
Absolutely. And also, there's heat stroke and there's heat exhaustion. Can you tell us what are the signs of both of them and what's the difference?
Yeah, so, you know, the main thing is to think about is that if you start feeling ill when you're outside, it's probably time to go in, right? You should limit the amount of time that you're out in the extreme heat and again, hydrate. But if you start to feel ill, you're nauseous, sick to your stomach, you start having a headache, things like that, those would be an indication that maybe it's time to take a break, you know, or if you start to feel weak. And then, you know, as it progresses, if you don't heed those warning signs, you know, you may start to become where you can't really control your thoughts, you know, and so the person may seem like they're kind of out of it or talking out of their head and things like that, and having what we call altered mental status. And that's really the progression to heat stroke. And so at that point, you know, the most important thing that we can do for that person is to move them inside into a cool environment and cool them down as quickly as possible. You know, whether that's cold rags, you know, putting them in a cold tub. Those are really important things in those situations because they're critically, their temperature is critically high, and we need to get it lowered as quickly as possible so that they don't suffer long-term brain damage.
Okay. So there are some of the things to watch out for because it is summer, we want to go outside, we want to enjoy it. One thing too that you might want to keep in mind is we have our caps on.
Yes.
I know, because we don't have anything else up there to keep us from getting sunburned, right? So you do want to be aware of that situation as well, because the sun hits any part that's an uncovered body.
You know, clothing is always a great thing to think about. You want light colored clothing that's breathable, cotton, you know, something that's going to keep you cool, but also help protect your skin. So even if you wear sunshade, you know, clothing that might be long sleeve, but it's specifically designed to help protect you from the sun as well.
That's great. Again, I'm talking with Major Chris Locketts, who is with Louisville Metro EMS. Thank you very much for this great advice.
Yep.
Go out, enjoy, and go to the pools, go to the parks, just enjoy yourself this summer. But we're going to be coming back here on Louisville Now with Captain Donovan Sims, who's going to give us some tips on fireworks safety, because this is the kickoff to the 4th of July weekend, right?
Absolutely.
All right, stay with us here on Louisville Now.
People call us when they don't know what to do. That's what we say.
If you want to do this job, you can absolutely do this job. You will not regret it.
You only have to be 18. You have to have a high school diploma or GED, and the rest of it's up to you.
Is it going to be hard? Yes. Are we going to challenge you? Absolutely. But can you do it? Yes, you can.
Look what's possible. This was a once vacant and abandoned property that had $28,000 worth of liens against it. The $28,000 worth of liens stopped the development of this property. And so under this lien forgiveness pilot program, we are able to forgive the liens on this property to then put this property back into development. It increases the housing stock and it gets a family into this house. And that's what's needed. It changes the neighborhood, it changes communities. Because of this program, the redevelopment of this property, the rehab of this property, which looks new, by the way, is possible. The information for this program can be found at www.louisvilleky.gov under the Community Development page for Housing and Community Development. Please click on that link. It will tell you all about the program and all of its requirements. This type of rehab is possible. Waiving the liens are possible. Please check us out.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. I now am joined by Captain Donovan Sims with the Louisville Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
And this is the kickoff to the 4th of July.
Yeah, I know, big time of the year for us, right?
I know, but we want to make sure everybody's safe, right?
Yes, safety is paramount. Right?
Quick tips for fireworks safety.
Again, the quickest tip is just be cautious. Have adults light fireworks. Don't have children light fireworks. A lot of the injuries we see from 4th of July are injuries to children 15 and younger. A lot of them are extremities to their hands, their feet, their arms. Again, those sparklers, those handheld fireworks, they burn really hot. They burn over 1,200 degrees. It takes only 900 degrees to melt glass. So just imagine a kid holding a sparkler that burns over 1,200 degrees. Some other things you can do to be safe there is go to the fireworks shows. Louisville Bats will have fireworks tonight. Tomorrow down at the waterfront, they have a fireworks show. Like, get your family out and do that, and that's a safe way to have it done.
Absolutely. So great advice always from the Louisville Fire Department. And one of the things, too, that we want to mention is you cannot set off fireworks in the parks.
Yeah. No fireworks in Louisville Metro Parks. That's just something you cannot do. That's the law here.
Yes, that's great. And for summer safety also, if you are going out into the parks, if you are having camping, don't be careful. It could be dry, and you want to prevent
you want to take
any
caution. Like if you're going to be out in the parks, you're going to be doing stuff at home like grilling. Make sure you're manning those grills. Don't leave them unoccupied. Keep a 3-foot perimeter around that so you don't have anything that can burn and catch something else on fire. Be really smart about the things that you're using and while you're cooking.
That's great. We also have a special guest with us as well. We have Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins for District 1. Come on down if you want to join us over here. And it's the 4th of July. Are you ready for a fun weekend? It's coming up. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of the fireworks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are at the Algonquin Water Park. This is great. This is great.
That's very beautiful.
Yes.
And are you happy it's here for you all?
Of course.
I know.
This is more than a pool. This is a water park. You know, so I'm definitely excited for the community and myself to see this come to fruition. This is something that they wanted to see, and we made it happen.
Absolutely. And we also want to mention that I believe this is going to be here until August the 2nd, and that's going to be closing day. And are you planning some special festivities for that day?
Of course, I got a couple of activities. I have a peaceful pool party. I'm going to be partnering with the ACE Project. We also have a police night out. Okay. They're going to be partnering with myself and Shirley Prep Academy. We're going to have the youth playing basketball. Then they're going to transition to here to get their backpacks and things like that. Also, we're going to have a 35 and up pool party for the adults.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do we have going on? Yeah,
a lot
you
of
can
stuff.
get in. Yeah, so
and
we
the fire department can come.
Well, I was going to
too,
say
right?
we want to come to that other day and just kind of hang out. So you already have police. We'll come as well. So just
yes, definitely. We'd love for you all to be here. Yeah. It's just making sure that we have programming and we listen to the community, whatever they would like to see. So those were some asks. So we're just going to make it happen. Awesome. I'm really excited about the next community day that we have coming up. That's going to be a lot of vendors. We're going to give away 300 meals, and we're going to have 2 sessions.
Okay.
That session is going to be 12:30 to 2:30. Then we're going to have a break, and then from 3 to 5, where we're going to let 600 people in the pool for free that day again.
That's great.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for joining us on Louisville Now. Again, we're here at the Algonquin Water Park with Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins. We've had Captain Donovan Sims talking about fire safety, fireworks safety, and all the stuff going on. Check out Councilwoman Hawkins' website for more. Thank you very much for joining us on Louisville Now.